Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Just let me know if everything's fine. And we will wait a little bit to maybe see if someone else wants to still join us. So if you can text me there, if you can hear me, I will be super grateful. I can see one person here, so just let me know if you hear me. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? So we will wait one additional minute and then we can go with the presentation. Cool, I can see 4 people with us, which is amazing. Dobra, so I think we can start the presentation and then it will be recorded on YouTube, so you will have a possibility as well to go to this and come back to the topic. So I will share my screen with you now and I hope it will work, so keep your fingers crossed. Yay, let's go to PPT as I promised. I hope you really see this. Yes, so welcome to Consultancy Space, Isaac for Poland MC Tempo. So today I will tell you a bit about what we are doing in PD, like what is going on here, why is it so important, and in general, like what would be potential LCVP PD duties. So starting with a really important thing, so agenda, why are we here, main responsibilities and job description of an LCVP PD or so-called PD. It's good to be here and questions time. So why are we here? So I'm almost sure that all of you know this sign, which is ISEC 2020, so which is our midterm vision. So as we know, like ISEC as an organization has a vision itself, which is peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential. But to achieve it, we have midterm vision. So now we have a vision which we are striving to do until ISEC, till 2020. And to do this, we have so-called roadmap, which is a plan for each year. And like what is really interesting, I hope that you already started to be interested in the roadmap, because you can also have questions in the process about that. So if you don't know what is it, it's fine, you still have time, just ask your LCPs or LCPs elects. But you can ask like, why actually I'm starting with ISEC 2020 if, for those who checked it, PD and even BD is not there. So I came back from PD Summit, which was in Germany. And what they told us there, they also started with the fact that actually we're not directly included for ISEC 2020, but if you take into consideration each strategy, you will realize that it wouldn't be possible without partnerships. And it is the same as with SDGs, because 17th goal is partnerships for the goals. So as you can see, and as you realize probably, like all of the 16th, which are previous than 17th, are realized thanks to also 17th. That's why we are also here in organization, for creating long-term partnerships and for showing people that our scale is really, really massive. And also, we started with a quote on our summit that creating a better world requires teamwork, partnerships, and collaboration, as we need an entire army of companies to work together to build a better world within the next few decades. And also, this means corporations must embrace the benefits of cooperating with one another. And I would like to tell you that partnerships development is not only about working with companies, because we have also organizations, we have also associations. So this is really important role, because like it really opens a lot of gates and shows us a lot of possibilities which we have on the market. So also let's have it in our mind. And what are main responsibilities as LCVP, and why I'm starting with main responsibilities as LCVP is that before you start being LCVP PD, you are in EB. And role of LCVP, of each LCVP is lead, manage, and achieve. So first of all, in this organization, our main goal is leadership, and we create leaders. So first of all, you will be leading LC, you will be leading your structure, most probably as potential LCVP, I wish, and I really wish you this. You will be a leader for these people. So you are leading them, it means you need to deliver team standards, for example. So every touch point, like team building or creating budget and this kind of stuff, if you haven't heard about it yet, or you are not sure if you know all of the team standards, also go and check it, because it will be required not only during the process, but during the whole LCVP term. You need to also manage. So you're also a manager, a person who gives duties, co-create plans, gives responsibilities. So you are co-deliver this all of these things together with your structure. That's why you need to manage them. And third thing, last but definitely not least, is achieve. Because as each LCVP, you have your goal, you have your plans, you have your KPIs and MOSES, about which I will tell you in a second. And you are finally responsible for achievements which have been planned in your area. Main responsibilities as LCVP PD. So in terms of measure of success, the first one is a percentage of sales planned achievement. So at the beginning of the term, each LCVP is creating something so-called sales plan. So you need to analyze how much money you want to deliver to your LC. And second one, how many long-term partnerships you want to leave in organization, and what you will be doing with them. Those, I think, are the most important ones. And also for you to understand, partnerships development is about 3 pillars. So it's knowledge, money, PR. Why knowledge? Because we as partnerships development department are responsible for delivering meritorical support, because we have a lot of touch points with external world, external body, companies, organizations. We are going for a lot of events, and that would be super, super selfish if we didn't deliver this knowledge to organization, because just during these events, during these meetings with companies, we can learn a lot, like I swear. So that's why we are kind of responsible for delivering knowledge. And now each LCVP PD is also responsible for doing certification on local level. So each person working in sales, so it can be IGV, IGT, and then most probably OGX as well, OGV, OGT. Each person working in the sales structure will be certified by LCVP PD, because this is the person in LC who is the final responsible of sales processes. And together with LCVP TM, for example, which is also important because synergies are important, together with this LCVP TM, LCVP PD is conducting trainings, is managing trainings delivered with companies, and so on and so forth. Money. Yes, we are also kind of responsible for delivering money from external resources and sources to organizations. So thanks to our cooperation, we can earn money, and how we communicate ISEC. is that we are a youth-led organization, the biggest in the world, and we are creating leaders as it is in ISEC way. We also add that we do it through cultural exchanges, and that's how our vision is realized. We can also talk something about our values, because what is important for us when we start partnership is to have common values with company, with organization, because it's pointless to have something like that without having common values. So then when the deal is successful, when we agree on having activities together, we can actually deliver money to organization. It's not only thanks to career days, it can be also thanks to having a partner for the LC, having a partner for operations. So if you, for example, find external support from company for OGV EPs who are going on exchange, so they can get this financial support. It's also about money, and you as LC can also use it. And a lot of other things, like, for example, inviting companies for conferences, which on national level is also paid. And in terms of money, the most important synergy which LCVP PD should have is synergy, obviously, with finance, because finance department is the final responsible for a budget in the whole organization, but PD is the main one which is also delivering this money. So the synergy should be super, super close and super, super tracked. I really recommend to have common spaces like synergy meetings, because it's like working on budget as well for LCVP PD. And then we have the last role, which is PR. So on national level, we have PR. On local levels, usually we do not have. We don't recommend it to have it in the strategy in EB. And what is the role? Like, we are going for many events, like networking events, for example, with companies or with schools even, because it's also possible. And also we appear at business conferences. Some associations also have conferences, so we can be there, we can be present, we can take part as speakers, we can take part in a panel, and like much more activities which we can conduct as PD. And through that, we are working on our PR. So the PR can be bad and the PR can be good. And it also depends on us. So that's how. Also, from local level, you can support recruitment as LCVP PD, having cooperation with some local authorities, or like websites on Facebook, for example, which are connected with the city authorities as well. And thanks to that, it's easier. Or you can think about cooperations for like OGV, OGET. So being at this kind of events, you can encourage people to go on exchange. And through that, through communicating organization, you also work on our PR. And this is the kind of job description, I would say, of LCVP partnerships development. So this LCVP is also responsible for co-delivery of national products. So I'm almost sure that you've heard about ambassadors program. So we have like cooperation with some companies that we recruit them ambassador from ISEC. So it will be ISECer responsible for promotion of this company's brand, for example, or like activities, or attending job fairs on which this person, like as ambassador, would help this company growing. This is half professional experience, it's not paid. And the role of LCVP is to deliver at least 2 applicants from LC. At the beginning, we as MC consulted with each LCVP, and we also communicate the process. So it's not like you need to know everything, like each time we explain what needs to be delivered, till when, and so on and so forth. Co-organizing career days, it doesn't happen in every LC, but yes, it's the product which we have in 9 cities, which we really love. So LCVP PD is also co-responsible for, like, I would say final responsible for having the product in the LC. We have, of course, teams. So we have team leaders of this product on a local level, but LCVP PD needs to be sure that everything is going well and that everything is delivered as it was promised. So yes, this is also kind of the role. It's also support, because sometimes deal of career days, it's new, and this person is not sure, for example, about sales processes and so on and so forth. Then this person is a guardian of national index in LC. So we have a lot of reports and this kind of stuff, thanks to which we know what is going on with companies in whole Poland. And on this national index, we have companies which can be contacted by LCs and companies which cannot. So it's also really important to make sure that LCVP PD will provide this knowledge to LC, so that, for example, a team leader will not contact a company which is on MC index. But it's just one spreadsheet, and it's really easy to understand, so it's nothing complicated. Yes, the next one is building valuable partnerships for LC. It's really big deal, I would say, because it on it depends the next also term of the LC. So it's super crucial, like what kind of activities will we undertake, how will be account management, so how will we take care of the company, of the contact, if we will be responsive, and for sure we should be, and this kind of small elements which really makes difference in terms of having relation with our companies. And not only. Working on sales plan, so at the beginning I told you that one of our measure of success is a percentage of sales plan delivered. So yeah, this person needs to be on track in terms of how much money we deliver to organization, so simply how much we earn. We need to deliver knowledge on sales. It can be also workshops delivered by LCVP PD. It doesn't need to be a company. LCVP PD is just the person who usually goes frequently for meetings. So she or he knows this environment like the most. And that's why this is the person who should deliver the knowledge. But also, yeah, external trainings are possible with synergy, in synergy with TM. Presence on external events and business conferences, co-creating employer branding activities with companies. Like, I know it sounds maybe difficult and it sounds super mysterious, but it's not super complicated, because by employer branding activities, we simply mean that we in an organization have students, and students are the main target for companies, because we are the potential employees who will be hired in the future. So having this beautiful target group as students, as we are, we simply can co-create activities through which company can present themselves. So this is so-called employer branding, and also through activities like, for example, supporting OGV. So with EY, for example, we do this competition when people can apply for OGV and OGE fund, and with this financial help, they can go on exchange. And thanks to this competition, EY will be more visible and will be present as a top employer in terms of also having actions with youth-led organizations. Local alumni management, because alumni are really important part of business world, and remember that those people have also really huge knowledge, so you can ask them about help. But also they are working in companies, in organizations, in sometimes even schools. So be aware where your alumni are working. Usually it's LCVP PD responsible for that, but sometimes it's also LCP. That's why I put here that it's kind of synergy. Documents for companies, so remember that every sales process is finished when vindication is done, only then. And then MOS and KPIs, we have more of them. So, for example, we have MOS like a sales plan, which is super important. For us, I was just checking if everything is fine, but I see that you're not texting, so I suppose everything is okay. So yes, MOS and KPIs, number of trainings, number of external events, and number of partnerships. And then we also have routines. So as LCVP PD, we are part of EB. So of course, EB meetings, area meetings of your structure, synergy meetings, monthly commission call. So me as MCVP PD and my lovely girls, so Tamara, responsible for career days, and Monica being a key account manager. We have monthly calls with each LCVP PD. And also we have monthly call with the whole commission. So there are 2 touch points, which really needs to be done. It's obligatory. Then LC meetings and summits like national conferences and local conferences. On the right corner, you have really cool thing, which is PD University, which you can find on Hub. If you don't know how to go on Hub, like how to log in, you can find the video from Churi uploaded on Pink House, where there's a really clear instruction how to get there. And PD University is a course uploaded by ISEC International. So they did it 3 months ago, and we were doing it also with my PD girls, so Tamara and Monica. And I can tell you that it's exactly the knowledge which we need. So I really encourage you to go there and check. It seems to be long and it takes some time, but this is, as I said, exactly the knowledge which we need. And you can find the presentations which are really super useful. Synergies you can see here, it's mainly TM, Finance, VP's IG, and VP's IDT. I don't want to say that we don't have, as LCVP's partnerships development, more synergies. Obviously we have, but in our opinion, those three are the main ones. Duration, obviously, is 1 year. And to who LCVP PD reports is LCP and MCVP PD, so me. Yes. Behaviors of an LCVP PD. And probably you're waiting for something outstanding, something which is like, I don't know, not met like anywhere. But our behaviors are like the same for every LCVP, because we simply need to have agility, growth, empathy, and eagerness. This is super, super important for us. In terms of agility, it's like to be agile is one of the most important things, I would say, because change management is not the easiest thing. But for LCVP PD, it's super required because you're working in really dynamic environment, and a lot of things usually do not happen in the way how you planned it. So it means that you really need to adjust and you really need to change your plans really fast without thinking a lot about it and I don't know, and suffering that something which you planned you need to change. It's a normal thing. My mom is saying always that change is the only stable thing which we have in our life, and I believe it's true. Then growth. So of course it's a growth connected with money, but not only. It's also a growth in terms of partnerships which you deliver to organization, and it's also a growth in terms of you and your structure, because as I said at the beginning, LCVP is a leader, so that's why it's super, super important. Empathy, because remember that you are working with people and you need to have this kind of emotional intelligence to feel if something is going in wrong direction, maybe sometimes, and you need to react. And eagerness, obviously, because you really need to have this power in you. When people are losing it in terms of your structure, you should be the one who will stand up and say that, guys, like, we promised something to LC, so now we simply need to deliver. And remember that there is always a solution. It's not like we are in a bad situation and we cannot do something about it. Yes, and values. We have common values as all ISECers. It's once again nothing new, but it's super, super important to like follow all of them. Everyone has a favorite one. I would say for me it's striving for excellence, because I believe that we can always do better. At the same time, like we really need to be ambitious, which is one of our MC values as well, and we shouldn't settle down. So yes, those are the values. You can also kind of come back to them, because for sure they will be needed not only during the process but during the whole LCVP term, which I wish you will start soon. And yes, it's really good to be. So today also I would like to tell you a short story about my EB experience, because I used to be LCVP. Yes, and I was not LCVP PD or PD, but I used to be LCVP IG team with these beautiful people who you can see here. So yes, like on the left, you can see the photo from our gala for like partners, during which we could thank our partners, and it was also done with a big synergy with LCVP and PD. Karina, who is the second blonde girl starting from the left. And we were like conducting the gala. It was super formal, super nice. It was a big deal for a whole LC. And on the right, like these people really became friends for me, and they organized a surprise for me, not like during my LCP elections, because after that I became LCP. They prepared so many surprises for me that I even didn't expect. But also on this picture, you can see my birthday party, which they organized for me without telling me. And you can see a lot of people here because they invited 3 additional people, like my really close friends. And I had no idea that they're even cooperating. I haven't I've ever even introduced them like to each other, but they managed and they created the best birthday party I've ever had. And then left down the corner, it's after our LCM, I think the last one. And exactly where that crazy individuals, but at the same time really cool team together. We had only one guy, as you can see, and he used to say that in the team there are 9 beauties and 1 smart guy. So yeah, it was really funny. And then the last picture, it was during my LCP General Assembly when I had the possibility to choose 2 buddies out of my team, and I chose Agata and Nina, and they were with me during the whole General Assembly, helping me and supporting me. As you can see, the smiles are not super honest because we were super stressed, but I really could count on them during the whole process. So yeah, simply these people became friends. We are in touch till today. I really had a cool EB experience. It's not always like that, so yeah, but I also need to tell you that it was super hard. Like, we had really hard moments, and it's not like, it was not always like in these pictures, as you can see. We had hard moments, we had to fight for each other, we had also argues and this kind of stuff. But what was also important for us is that we had one purpose, and like, we promised something, that we will deliver something. And one quote which was always with us was the quote which Łukasz, the only guy, said once by mistake, but then we realized that it's actually super true, which is jak nie oknem to drzwiami. So if not through the window, then through the doors, which, as you know, is usually like, in original sense, it's the opposite one, but that's what we were using really a lot of times. As I said, we had a lot of issues, struggles and stuff, but we always believed that there is a solution. Yes, and now it's your time, so you can ask me questions if you have some doubts, or if I should come back to any topic. Just let me know. I'm waiting for your questions, and I will be more than happy to tell you more about the area. And questions you can write on the right part of the screen. I can see it's 6 of you watching, so yes, let me know if you need to know something else. And remember, there are no stupid questions, so yeah, just feel free. Cool, so if you don't have questions, let me finish this space, and if you need something else, you can always text me via WhatsApp or via email is the best option. So my email you can find, I think, in many places, but it's maria.surma@isec.pl. Yeah, just feel free to contact me whenever you need something, and I hope this space was helpful for you. So thank you so much, guys, and bye.